Let's say you are in a paddle boat about 200 miles from shore in a Category 5 hurricane. You have to survive 30 hours, then it magically disappears and you are rescued. What is the best option for survival? You have no special equipment besides a life vest. Would it be better off if you had a second person to pedal faster? What are the fractional odds of survival?
This is an extremely dire survival scenario. Let's break it down methodically. Scenario summary. Location, 200 miles from shore, open ocean. Vessel, small paddle boat. Conditions, Category 5 hurricane. Duration, must survive 30 hours, then hurricane disappears. Gear, just a life vest, no emergency supplies. Goal, survive, not necessarily reach land. Optional variable, 1 person versus 2 people. Category 5 hurricane hazards. Waves, 50 plus foot, very chaotic. Wind, greater than or equal to 157 mph, enough to capsize large vessels. Rain, blinding, can cause hypothermia. Visibility, extremely low. Storm surge, not relevant in deep ocean, but chaotic swell is. Debris, could be lethal projectiles in the wind. What happens to a paddle boat in these conditions? A paddle boat is not seaworthy. It would almost certainly be capsized quickly. Smashed apart by waves or wind-driven debris. You would end up in the water probably within the first hour. Life vest, the only lifeline. The life vest will keep you afloat. Offer some protection from drowning. But you'd be exposed to extreme fatigue from waves and panic. Saltwater aspiration. Hypothermia, depending on water temp. Shark activity is possible but statistically low risk compared to drowning/hypothermia. Would a second person help? Only slightly, and not for long. Here's why. You're not escaping the hurricane. Paddling faster won't get you out. It's 1,000 plus miles wide. If you stay with the paddle boat, 2 people could help bail water or balance the boat, buying extra minutes to hours. In water, a second person could help with morale, spotting, staying awake, or taking turns holding on to floating debris. But overall, the second person doesn't significantly improve odds. It's still almost certain doom once you're in the water. Fractional odds of survival. Even under generous assumptions, this is extremely low probability. Condition survival odds. Paddle boat survives 30 hours, 1 in 10,000. You stay alive in water, W/life vest 30 HRS, 1 in 1,000. Hypothermia doesn't set in, depends on temp, 1 in 500. Rescue finds you after storm, irrelevant, you're rescued after 30 HRS. Estimated overall odds. 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 100,000 range for solo survival. Maybe slightly better with a second person, 1.5x odds at most, due to shared vigilance and morale. Best survival strategy. Once in the water, stay calm to conserve energy. Stay with the boat or any debris more visible, better flotation. Minimize heat loss. Curl into fetal position if water is cold. Stay out of wind if possible, wind chill worsens hypothermia. Don't drink seawater. Avoid swimming unless to reach floating debris, it wastes energy. Final verdict. If trapped in a paddle boat 200 miles offshore during a Cat 5 hurricane with only a life vest, survival is extremely unlikely. A second person may help, but only marginally. Your best bet is clinging to debris, conserving energy, and enduring the storm.
In this scenario, your survival strategy would focus on staying afloat and conserving energy rather than trying to outrun the storm or reach shore. Core survival principles. The paddle boat itself becomes your primary shelter and flotation device. Your main goals are preventing hypothermia, avoiding injury from debris, and maintaining the boat's integrity. Paddling in a Category 5 hurricane would be futile, you'd exhaust yourself fighting forces thousands of times stronger than human power. Best positioning strategy. Stay as low as possible in the boat to reduce wind exposure. If the boat has any enclosed areas or you can create windbreaks with seats or panels, use them. Keep your life vest on at all times. Try to position yourself to avoid taking waves directly over the bow or stern. Angling slightly into waves when possible can help prevent capsizing. Regarding a second person. A second person would actually be beneficial, but not for paddling speed. The advantages would be shared body warmth to prevent hypothermia. Ability to take turns bailing water while the other rests. Psychological support during the ordeal. Someone to help right the boat if it capsizes. Backup in case one person is injured or becomes incapacitated. The extra weight might make the boat sit slightly lower but more stable in the water. Energy conservation. Save your strength for critical moments, bailing water, repositing during lulls, or riding the boat if needed. Don't waste energy paddling against hurricane-force winds and waves that could easily flip or destroy a small paddle boat. Your survival depends more on the boat's buoyancy, your ability to stay warm and avoid injury, and riding out the storm rather than any attempt to navigate through it. Best case estimate, 1 in 30 survival odds. Cold water, 1 in 100 or worse.
This is an incredibly dangerous scenario, and survival would be extremely challenging. Given you only have a life vest and are in a Category 5 hurricane 200 miles from shore, paddling for 30 hours in a paddle boat is unlikely to make a significant difference against the storm's force. Here's a breakdown of what might be your best, though still slim, options for survival. Focus on staying afloat and together. Your top priority is to stay above water and, if there's a second person, remain close to them. A life vest is crucial for buoyancy. Conserve energy. Paddling against hurricane-force winds and massive waves for 30 hours is likely to be futile and will only exhaust you. It's better to conserve your energy. Huddle together, if applicable. If there are two of you, staying close might provide a small amount of psychological comfort and could potentially help you stay warmer and more visible. However, this would depend on the size and stability of the paddle boat. Try to stay on top of the paddle boat. While the paddle boat is unlikely to offer much protection, staying with it might be better than being completely separated in the open water. It could offer something to hold onto. Face the waves, if possible. Try to position yourself so that the waves are hitting you head-on rather than broadside, which could potentially make the paddle boat more stable and reduce the risk of capsizing, though capsizing is still very likely. Regarding the second person. While in normal conditions, two people paddling might increase speed, in a Category 5 hurricane, the force of the storm will far outweigh any speed you could generate with a paddle boat. The added weight and potential for uncoordinated paddling could even make the situation worse by making the boat less stable. In summary, in this extreme scenario, focusing on staying afloat, conserving energy, and trying to remain with the paddle boat, and your companion if there is one, are the only real options. Paddling for speed against a Category 5 hurricane is highly unlikely to be effective. Fractional odds. I'd put the odds of surviving at 9,999 to 1 against you.
Surviving a Category 5 hurricane in a paddle boat. Surviving a Category 5 hurricane, winds greater than 157 miles per hour, 20 to 50-foot waves, in a paddle boat 200 miles offshore with only a life vest is dire. The goal is to endure 30 hours until rescue. Below is the best survival strategy and an analysis of whether a second person improves your chances. Key challenges. Storm conditions, massive waves and winds make capsizing or boat destruction likely. Paddle boats are unstable, open-top, and not built for hurricanes. Distance, paddling 200 miles to shore is impossible against storm currents. Boat speed, 3 to 5 miles per hour in calm conditions. Exposure, hypothermia, dehydration, or injury from wind, rain, or debris is a risk. The life vest ensures flotation but not protection. Fatigue, paddling for 30 hours in a storm is exhausting without food, water, or rest. Boat integrity, lightweight paddle boats are prone to swamping or breaking apart. Best survival strategy. Focus on staying alive, not navigating or outrunning the storm. Secure to boat, tie yourself to the boat using ropes, straps, or clothing to stay with it if it capsizes. The life vest ensures flotation, but the boat is more visible to rescuers. Minimize paddling, stop paddling to conserve energy, as fighting the storm is futile. Use paddles only to stabilize against waves if necessary. Protect against exposure, stay low to reduce wind and spray exposure. Use any cover, e.g., canopy or capsized hull, to shield from rain and delay hypothermia. Tuck your body to conserve heat. Prepare for capsizing, assume the boat will capsize. Stay tethered to it for flotation and rescue visibility. Keep airways clear to avoid swallowing seawater. Mental resilience, stay calm to avoid panic, which worsens fatigue. Focus on the 30-hour rescue timeline, breaking time into manageable segments, e.g., survive the next hour. Would a second person help? A second person could marginally improve survival, but but trade-offs exist. Benefits. Shared effort, alternating stabilizing or bailing water reduces fatigue. In calmer moments, coordinated paddling might help orient the boat. Moral support, a partner can boost morale, easing psychological strain.
Solo, without equipment, a paddle boat is unlikely to withstand the storm for long. If the boat breaks apart within 5–10 hours, you're left clinging to debris or floating in the life vest. Hypothermia, exhaustion, or injury could set in before 30 hours. I estimate solo survival odds at roughly 1/100, factoring in the life vest and rescue certainty. With a second person might extend survival time slightly through mutual support, but the boat's fragility and exposure risks remain dominant. I estimate odds at 2/100, a marginal improvement due to shared effort but limited by the same environmental constraints. A second person may help, but only marginally. Your best bet is clinging to debris, conserving energy, and enduring the storm.